A bladder infection changed my life forever. I'd maintained a 3.8 GPA for 3 years, but Professor Dickerson's calculus class was frying me. I needed at least an 85 on the final to pass, and without it, I'd lose my academic scholarship. I'd studied for weeks, memorized every formula, and solved hundreds of practice problems. I felt somewhat confident. Then, 12 hours before the exam, the burning started. I was going to the bathroom every 5 minutes. The pain was unbearable. Like someone twisting a knife in my bladder, I was shaking, sweating, counting seconds between waves of agony. The test was worth 60% of our grade, and Professor Dickerson was one of those who had a zero-tolerance policy for retaking. But screw it, I had to go. I woke up at 6 a.m. feeling like death. The antibiotics from the campus urgent care weren't doing anything. If anything, I felt worse. My bladder was on fire and I'd already peed 4 times before even getting dressed. The urge was constant and violent. The exam started at 8 a.m. room 204 in the mathematics building. Those awful plastic chairs. I picked a seat near the door, just in case. Dickerson passed out the tests face down, giving her whole speech about academic integrity and her no-tolerance policy. Once you begin, you may not leave your seat more than once. Any suspicious behavior will result in immediate failure. 20 minutes in, I was already dying. My leg was bouncing uncontrollably, sweat dripping down my back. Finally couldn't take it, so I raised my hand for the bathroom. Dickerson looked at me like I'd personally insulted her. Already, Mr. Mooney? The test just started. I speed walked to the bathroom and I barely made it. The relief lasted maybe 30 seconds before the pressure started building again. Back at my desk, I tried to focus. Derivatives, integration. My handwriting was getting shaky. 40 minutes later, I had to go again. This time, Dickerson actually stopped talking mid-sentence to watch me leave. Everyone turned to stare. My face burned with embarrassment. The second trip was worse. I stood at the urinal for 5 minutes, my body screaming to pee, but just standing there in frustration. Just pain. Pure, searing pain. I was standing there in disbelief that this was actually happening. Some dude came in and immediately left. Back in the room, Dickerson was standing by my desk, arms crossed. That look teachers get when they think they've caught you. The other classmates were trying not to notice. I made it another 25 minutes. My whole body was trembling. I couldn't tell if I felt wetness. Did I leak? I didn't even care anymore. I stood up to go again, and Dickerson immediately grabbed my test before I left the door. Outside, now, in the hallway, she held my exam like evidence. 3 bathroom breaks in 90 minutes? You think I'm stupid? This is clearly cheating. I sighed, actually embarrassed to say it. Professor Dickerson, I'm sick. I have a UTI. I'm literally about to— She actually laughed in my face. A UTI? You're a 21-year-old man. Men don't get UTIs. That's the worst excuse I've ever heard. I'm literally doing the pee dance. I'm not lying. I have medication in my backpack. I can show— She rolls her eyes at me. You've failed this exam, Mr. Mooney. Stop pretending, and I'll be reporting this to the Dean of Students. I felt it then. I didn't even say anything else. I just bolted to the bathroom, leaving her standing there with my failed future in her hands. I walked out of the bathroom to find Dean Rowe leaning against the wall. Hey, Lucas, he said gently. Let's talk in my office. His office still had photos from last year's Dean's List dinner. I was in one of them. He gestured for me to sit. You've been an exceptional student for 3 years. Help me understand what happened today. Relief flooded through me. I leaned forward eagerly. I have a UTI, Dean Rowe. It's severe. I couldn't control when I needed the bathroom. Here, I fumbled through my backpack, pulling out the antibiotics. He examined the pill bottle carefully, adjusting his glasses. Just medication? No official documentation? I can get it right now. It's just a 5-minute walk. He sighed and pushed the bottle back across the desk. The thing is, Professor Dickerson tells a different story. That you obviously cheated. She says you laughed when she confronted you. That you made up this medical excuse after getting caught. That you cursed at her. I gripped the armrests. What? No! She laughed at me. She said men don't get— He held up his hand to stop me from talking. Professor Dickerson has never had a complaint in her entire career. You're asking me to believe she's lying? Yes. He stood up, looking down on me. I won't tolerate disrespect toward faculty. You're expelled, effective immediately. So I pissed in his office.